With that, we come to the end of this month's Water Action Platform, and I'll close with a couple of notices. The first is that we're thrilled to support Severn Trent's Wavemakers International Competition, which is open for applications until the 13th of September. The Zero Spills Hub initiative aims to eliminate storm overflows using innovative, multifaceted solutions. So we invite technology innovators worldwide to submit your groundbreaking ideas in areas like AI optimization, waste stream separation, novel wastewater treatments, and smart storage systems. For more information and how to apply, please visit this website.